Okay, cool. A ceasefire was announced between Israel and Hamas. That's awesome, right? Well, nothing was really resolved, but let's talk about it. So the deal is supposed to kick in on Sunday, that's January 19th, and here's what we know so far. The negotiators were obviously Israel and Hamas, mediated by Qatar with the US also taking part. But the US side had representatives from both the Biden admin and the incoming Trump team, which will become relevant in a bit. So interestingly, what we know of the deal is almost identical to what the Biden admin was proposing months ago. And there's three phases. First of all, there's going to be the release of some Israeli hostages in the next 6 weeks, while Israel will release several hundreds of their captives and start withdrawing IDF troops from Gaza. Then there will be another phase with the release of the remaining live hostages and eventually the return of the bodies of the rest of the hostages. The ceasefire also promises an influx of humanitarian aid and a reconstruction plan to be fleshed out. And importantly, the deal does not include a precondition for the dismantling of Hamas, which used to be a deal breaker for Netanyahu's government. And far-right ministers in that government like Itamar Ben-Gvir and Bezalel Smotrich are saying that they're going to try to stop the deal, but it doesn't look likely to succeed. So why did this deal pass now and not 8 months ago when it was first proposed? Well, some Israeli media are reporting that the Trump envoy may have made some promises on the side to sweeten the deal for Israel, like removing Israeli settlers in the West Bank from the US sanctions list and supporting Netanyahu unconditionally if he starts bombing again after getting the hostages once Trump is back in office. I mean, let's be honest, it's not like Biden wouldn't have supported them, but that's beside the point. It's also worth noting that Israel had signed a deal with Lebanon a few months ago, but they were already violating it before it even kicked in. So the fact that they agreed for now to this deal doesn't really mean much. The only question is, will it hold and for how long? And more importantly, even if it holds, any ceasefire deal means nothing in the long run if no comprehensive solution is found between Israel and Palestine that would grant the Palestinians their human rights, self-governance, and sovereignty over their own land. And Netanyahu's government refuses to even consider anything that goes in that direction. So even though there's a chance the bombs will stop falling for now, the humanitarian situation in Gaza is still incredibly dire, and the geopolitical and human rights issues are nowhere near solved. In fact, they're probably worse than they've ever been at this point. In the meantime, there's still an ongoing genocide case against Israel at the International Court of Justice and active arrest warrants for Netanyahu and other Israeli officials at the International Criminal Court. So yeah, this isn't anywhere near over, and you can follow for more.